Hello drummers, and welcome back to another reading video, okay, from the Total Rock Drummer book, which all of my students have. And this is going to be on page 13. So if you want to go back and review the quarter note reading, I did that in a previous video. This is whole, half, and quarter notes. So whole notes, half notes, and quarter notes. This is a little bit more challenging because we have to get used to looking at 3 different note values, but super important to understand this. So on page 13, if you have your book handy, look at the top. And I'm also going to provide the music on the video here so you can kind of see it. You'll notice that the first measure we have a whole note. And a whole note simply means play on one and don't play on any other note in the 4 count. So whole notes means 1, 2, 3, 4. I used to remember that as just play the 1 and it lasts the whole bar. That was just my little way of remembering that when I was learning. The second bar, we have something called half notes, and they aren't filled in circles. They're just a circle with a stem, okay? And we don't need any rests. So a half note takes up half of 4, which is 2. So 2 counts. So 1, 2. Now if I played the second measure on page 13, I would have 1, 2, 3, 4. So the duration's a little bit longer. We don't need the rests. It's very similar to playing quarter note rest, quarter note rest, especially in drumming. But we just want to get used to seeing both ways of writing. And of course, the third measure we have for quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the fourth measure on page 13, we have 2 quarter notes and 1 half note. So the purpose of this page was to try to eliminate as many rests as possible. We will encounter some rests throughout this exercise. We have to, because there's going to be a lot of space. And that's what resting is creating no sound. Creating no sound, I know that sounds funny. But that last measure on the top line, I have 2 quarter notes, 1 half note. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that half note takes up 2 counts. So I hope I'm making this fairly clear. If you have any questions, just leave them down below in the comments and I'll be happy to get back to you. Okay, so as soon as we get to the second line, I take away the numbers. So now we have to use our musical judgment and start understanding note values and how they work in relation to time. So just 1 or 2 more examples and then we're going to play this whole thing non-stop. So get your pad ready, get your sticks ready. You don't need a metronome because I'll play to the metronomes, you can just follow me. The second line down, the first measure, we have a half note, which takes up 2 beats. So that will be 1, 2, and then of course I'm going to resolve that with 3, 4, which is 2 quarter notes, okay? Let's do one more. So the bar right beside it, we've got a quarter note and a quarter note rest, and then we have a half note. Holy smokes, I hope I'm not going too fast for you guys. So I've got 1, 2, we rest on the 2, and then I play 3, and the 3 is a half note. So that one sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now surprisingly, if you look directly up, you'll see that there's 2 half notes. It sounds exactly the same to a drummer. I won't get into the whole logistics of it, but to a piano player or a horn player, that's something a little different. But down the road we can discuss that. For now, just hit the drum because we're only getting 1 sound. That's our sound. Okay, so let's go 60 beats per minute, okay? I'm going to play the whole thing. I'm going to count it and try to count aloud with me if you can. If not, just play and listen. And if you can't play, maybe just clap along or just watch. And then rewind the video and go back and see if you can follow me on this. So definitely a little bit more challenging than the quarter note exercise we did previously. But we need to understand this stuff. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. How'd you do? As I was playing this, I realized I probably should have explained something else too. And some of you might be wondering, if I go third line down, okay, third line down, and I see the half note at the beginning of the measure, and then I see this little rectangle thing. Well, it's another rest. Okay, that is a rest that's actually sitting on the line, and that's called a half note rest. And that takes up 2 counts of silence, or 2 counts of rest. So if you look at the third measure on the third line, you see a quarter note. Then you see the quarter note rest, which is resting on 2. And then the half note rest is resting on 3 and 4. Now, interestingly enough, to a drummer, that third line, starting on the whole note, and then the half note with the half note rest, the quarter note with the quarter note rest, half note rest, all sounds exactly the same to me, because I'm just hitting the drum on 1. Once again, a different instrument that can hold notes longer, like horns, pianos, voice, anything like that, it's going to be accentuated a little bit differently. But for a drummer, it's just play on the 1 for those first 3 measures of line number 3. So hopefully you did okay. Let me know how you did. If you have any questions, please leave them below in the comments. And I will see you in the next video. Happy drumming, and see you soon. Bye-bye.